Hi, welcome.
Hey!
I'm Reverend Rich. This is Reverend,
Reverend Paul.
and this is show number 41. You believe it, Paul?
41. I know, isn't that great?
And this is Prayers Radio, so only about prayer. And that's
Affirmative prayer.
Ernest Holmes, which is, of course, Science of Mind, philosophy. And we have our wonderful guest today. Help me with this, Paul.
Billie Frances
Billie
from Vision
Frances,
CSL.
RScP.
Right there.
Right
So
there.
welcome, Billie.
Thank you. It's a joy to be here.
So before we start, we always start with an invocation of prayer. And would you be okay starting us off that way?
Absolutely. Thank you so
Perfect.
much for
Thank you.
asking. So it is with conscious awareness that I recall and remember and absolutely know this presence that we call spirit, we call God. We're just here with it, as it, and for it this day. We are here to absolutely be the joy, be the love, be the wisdom that spirit is. And we bring that forth in this time together, that we're here absolutely to express those qualities, certainly the wisdom, and certainly the love, and most definitely the joy. So we allow this time to be spirits. We surrender into that right here, right now, and allow it to speak through us, for us, and on behalf of anyone listening and everyone listening. We are one, we are connected. It is so good. I'm with joy now, releasing this word and knowing it is done. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. Wow.
That was
Well,
beautiful.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, Billy's got a whole rap sheet on her on what she's done in this world and in this life, and it's fantastic. She has a book, and show us your book real quick and tell us a little bit about that so we can get that.
Awareness
Awareness
is enough.
is enough. And of course, it'll be in the show notes so that when you want to purchase it, as I said, when, because we're in the affirmative in Science of Mind, that you will get it.
So, Billie, tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes, this book was designed and destined to be written. I used to talk about it. I should write a book. People would say, you should write a book. And I waited and waited and waited until, honest to goodness, as answered prayer often happens, it's like it came through as, how about right now? So it actually is a culmination of work I've been doing for 25 years. And that is something somebody said, oh, perfect, this course you've been teaching for 25 years. Perfect, you can put it right in your book. And I said, yeah, but that's not what Spirit has in mind. So the book is not a how-to as much as it is how to be. How to be in service, whether that's as a coach, as a minister, as a practitioner, as a human being. So it's more to how to be. So that's what the book's about, and it took a year and a half to have it go from thought to thing, and I'm very grateful for that.
And can you share with us what a coach is?
What is a coach? Oh, goodness, do I dare say this? A coach is just like a practitioner without the prayer part. Well, I say that because my path started out being a practitioner. That was my first calling. I became a practitioner, and then I went secular, and I went from being a practitioner to being a therapist. So, but I just took the consciousness of practitioner into my work as a therapist. And then lo and behold, I heard about this thing called coaching. And I thought, well, what's a little different there? And it's less about remedying anything as much as bringing out the best of who you are, and supporting them to take action to support that realization. Doesn't that sound a lot like practicing?
It
So,
does. Let's
so
let's
yes,
let's go ahead and plug your site real quick, which is guidingmindfulchange.com. That's guidingmindfulchange.com for those of us that spell differently.
there you go. Guidingmindfulchange.com. So that started in 1993. I named the business in 1993. And I actually called my minister to bless it. So I called
Mm,
Dr. Reverend Kathy Hearn, my minister at the time, and I said, I'm starting a new business. It's called Guiding Mindful Change. I want you to bless it. And she said, well, what is it? And I said, I don't quite know. But I know it's about a collection of heart-centered people who are making a difference in the lives of others.
mm.
And everything I've done ever since has been that. So,
That's beautiful. Hey,
That is,
can you share with us how prayer has affected that?
yes. Prayer is where everything starts and ends, actually, for me. And I was actually teaching practitioner classes. And this is a good example, quite honestly, of a prayer, answered prayer. But when I was teaching practitioner studies, after doing it for 10 years, something said, I wonder if you want to be done with this phase. And so I prayed
Mm,
about that. And sure enough, it was time to bring that to a gentle conclusion. And I did so. And then within 3 months, the idea of this coach certification process, revealed itself, and I would do that. So for me, it's there's sort of a blending. Answered prayer is sort of just listening to yourself, listening to what the spirit has in mind, and being unattached to how it looks.
mm.
So that's how it's so important for me. And if I'm not remembering to turn to prayer, then it's going to turn out my way, which is so limited. So
Very.
all of these things have evolved because of answered prayers and listening as well as speaking.
Take it
well,
away, Rich.
I think that's fabulous. I mean, the that you're actually applied prayer to make this happen. You've been a religious science practitioner, as they call it, is your notes here, for quite a long time. We're not going to give out dates because that's not fair. We are timeless in this philosophy, as we
We
know.
are timeless.
There's no time in spirit. It says that. So let's. Am I right, Paul? Is it saying there's no time in spirit?
There's no time in spirit.
There we go. All right. Just
It's
a
been a
real quick
minute.
note. What? we say hi to also to all of the 18 different platforms that we're on right now. Yes, you heard it right, Paul. I did add a couple of other ones. BitChute's a new one. Hi, BitChute. Anyways, let's go over to the next prayer. A tangible prayer. What tangible results have you seen for prayer? I think you answered that already. You
Yeah, just
prayed and it manifested itself. And then grounded prayer. Do you know what grounded prayer is? How do you stay grounded in prayer? I mean, do you
Or how
just
does prayer ground you? Yeah.
yeah. How does it ground me? It's I think I kind of touched on that. Um, it is a moment of surrender to have an idea and then be unattached.
Mm,
And the way can do that is to say, this is great, probably inspired, but let's turn to prayer. Let's turn to a moment of quiet and contemplation and the 5 steps that we follow, just to anchor what I think
mm,
is happening, but to again be unattached. I had that happen. I'm moving into a whole new phase, and just this morning I had yet another inspiration, and it's through meditation and prayer that
mm.
something else wants to happen for me and through me. And we just talked a minute ago about being ageless and timeless. I am certainly not done with and I'm going to call it a ministry because that's what I was going to just say, and that's what it is.
It is, yeah.
Somebody once asked me, "Are you a minister?" And I says, "I have a ministry. It's called Guiding Mindful Change." And so something new wants to emerge, and so that's it is through prayer that I'm getting certainty. Does it make sense? And
Mm.
and wings to it.
so you're right now the CSL, the Centers for the Science of Mind Center, Centers for Spiritual Living Center you're at is with our, one of our wonderful guests, which is Reverend Patty Paris. It was here.
Yes.
And she's over at visioncsl.org. I just want to mention that and give a shout out because I visited your church Sunday
Yes.
and it was fun.
Great
Like,
time.
I got the power. That was good times. They had live music and food. I like food. And of course, I brought my daughter and we just hung out in San Diego down there. It was just a good time to be had. So I'll just put that out there for Patty. It's for you. It's for you.
Yes, yes. Right. And we're actually coming up on our 19th anniversary as a center. And just, can I give you a little background or reference to all of that?
Yes,
You
please.
got 2 minutes now. Go for it.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we just started and now we're here. I am so very, very proud of Reverend Patty and just honored to be part of her ministry and one of the practitioners at Vision. And I have been there the entire time. In fact, my name is the first one on the charter. So I signed the dotted line when we were about to become a center. And so the backstory of that is that when we talked about time, but in the way back, there was this wonderful class, that last class I taught. Reverend Patty Paris was in my class. So I
Wow.
am her practitioner teacher. So in a way, Paul, we're kind of like related here because you're kind of like my grandson.
Oh, yes, because I took from her my practitioner training.
Right. And she took training with me.
Wow.
So very, very, very cool. So yes, the center has been up and running and beautifully heart-centered. I think that's Reverend Patty is so anchored in prayer and so anchored in the principles and Ernest Holmes. And people do not refer to the church as Reverend Patty's church. It's Vision.
It's Vision, yes.
It's called Vision, and that is because she's very proud of what she's done, I'm sure, but it's not an ego thing with her. It's service, and so she has been there all this time to serve, and I'm just so proud of her. And she's because of her prayer work, because of her beingness, she is getting better and better and better. Speaking to all of us, I love it.
And we have to give a shout out to John too, because he's the background of that. He puts everything together, and so it's Patty and John together, which
Yes,
creates Vision.
right. John Kirko is our what do we call him, for crying out loud? Chief Operations Officer. And
He's like Rich. He's behind the scenes doing everything that we can't
yes,
see to make it flow perfectly.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they're a wonderful team. Yeah, we love them together. It's wonderful.
So we should say just go look at the show notes, visit them, check them out, talk to them, go online and watch them if you choose to. But let's not plug that. That's for the end of the show. I think we won't do that at the end of the show because we just plugged it now. All right.
So Billy, how do you start your day? How do you get grounded with prayer?
No, you just go, good morning.
I do something really consciously. I learned this from BJ Fogg and actually at a workshop I was at recently. I plant my feet on the ground and I say, "This is going to be a great day," and a little some kind of a fist pump thing. So that's how I start. I plant my feet first thing in the morning. This is going to be a great day, and then the next thing I do is meditate.
That's perfect.
It starts kind of energized, and then it's I have this this little simple little couch. It's so tiny. I have a little tiny place that I live now, and I just nestle into my little cross-legged position there and meditate. So that's how I ground myself in my day. And I also I'm doing something along with Reverend Patty and some of the rest of us at Vision. We're rereading the Science of Mind textbook, and so that's another way that I ground, is to do some reading as well. And
So how do you adjust for your day though? When you go through your day, we get triggered, like
little hiccup, yeah.
Bam! Yeah. So what triggers a prayer in your life, and how do you do that in your practice for daily life? Because you're a coach, so you might have some
yes,
insights.
yes. Yes. When Reverend Patty was on your show, she said that anything that takes you out of the holy instant is worthy of prayer.
Mm.
So first you have to notice. This is part of why my book is called Awareness is Enough. It's about awareness. So if you notice, I'm not here. I'm elsewhere. I need to be present, to be where I am and ground myself. And by the way, I thought this was funny when I heard it. Um, Anything that takes you out of the holy instant is worthy of prayer is a quote that I gave during prac class when Reverend Patty was in it. And they put it on some kind of a plaque for me. So the fact that she still quotes that is so cool. And it's just true. And it sometimes is one of those things though that I'm just going along and I'll just say, "Oh my goodness, honey, you are running on Billy Power." And so I have to catch that and say, anchor back. You're off, you're spinning out there. You're into some kind of worry or doubt, whatever. That's the trigger. So as soon as I notice, it's kind of like in meditation. Oh, and you just say, thinking.
Yes, let
When
it
your
go,
mind
come back.
wanders, thinking, and that puts me right back. So, so that's,
That's a good trigger. I have certain people in my life that I have to go. They go, what are you doing? And I said, I'm thinking because I'm putting my filters on before I open my mouth. Because anything you say or anything you think is a prayer, if you will. So
very good point. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Billy,
So
being in the
doubt.
teach. Oh, go ahead, Judge.
I was going to say, doubt. What do you do to get out of it? It sounds like you. I mean, do you do a prayer? Do you just bing?
It, See, the nice thing about having done this quite a while, um, it is pretty shortcut to come
Mm,
home. You know what I'm saying? And that's
yeah.
the idea when we were doing practitioner class. It's not going away from truth is not the problem.
Mm,
It's going to happen. But what we're doing in studying this philosophy is how quickly can you get back? So that's all I'm
Mm,
trying to do is not judge myself for having gone out to a field, but to say, okay, you're out there now, come back. So that's true with pretty much everything. When I'm teaching coaching, same thing. If people are starting to forget to connect with the client and instead are thinking about some great ideas for that client, okay, there was your mind. It did that. How quickly
mm.
can you get back? How quickly can you come back and go, this moment, this scenario, this person? Does that
So,
make sense?
yeah. So, speaking of coming back, how has your prayer evolved over time from when you first started to where you are now?
I used to want to pray like other people I heard praying, so that if somebody was using a lot of flowery language and their prayer was a certain length, I would try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Comparing.
yeah.
How interesting is that? How, kind of lacking a little bit in awareness and presence. So I have to admit, when I pray now, what has evolved, I have no idea what I'm saying.
Mm,
And that's a very good thing. In fact, when we do at service or whatever, if we do a prayer and I happen to be on the uh, platform doing a prayer, I have to go back and listen to it, or I choose to go back and listen to it because
mm.
I had no idea what Spirit said. So that's an evolution. It used to be a concern or self-conscious, and now that doesn't have a role. Yeah.
so some of our Christian friends that have joined us on our show, they ask, well, how do you test that spirit? You're not just channeling some type of weird stuff. Well, how would you test that spirit within you when you're playing that? Because
Yeah.
it says test the spirit in all things if we look at the Christian Bible, if you will.
Oh, interesting. We have so many wonderful feedback systems around us. Results are good.
Mm.
Results had a good feedback there. I think the body is another one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the body gives us sometimes instant feedback. It's like, you are not, this is not for you. This is not on course, and lined up. So there's that. I would say, the results and the body feedback are good ones.
Yeah,
I only
Ernest
asked
Holmes.
because you got that coaching background. I'm like, ooh, let's see what she says about this. Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
interrupted.
no, that's okay. And Ernest Holmes always said that we know the prayer is good, not good as in good or bad or duality, but good as in innately when we're compelled to do something afterwards. Like we're so compelled we can't say no, and I get that every day. And how
Hmm.
about you?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, well, that was my story. I started off, you know, probably from the time I was old enough to, go to school. I wanted to be a teacher. I knew that. It's
Mm.
dharma. This is who I am. Lining up my dolls and teddy bears and teaching. Um, and then I got out of college and I didn't go the route of becoming a teacher. But this is I have taught everything I've ever learned at this point.
Mm.
You want to learn aerobic dancing? Well, then I became a teacher and a clinician for that. Do you want to learn laughter yoga? Well, then I became a teacher for that. Practitioner, I think I'll teach that. How about coaching? Now I teach that because that's my that's who I am. So
Mm.
it's hard to deny. I think you were saying, Paul. That's that's Spirit's use of me, and it's every day waking up and saying, "Use me today."
Yeah,
Yeah.
just saying yes.
Yes.
So how would you explain our philosophy to someone that's not familiar with it?
Sometimes I like to ask questions as opposed to
Mm.
standing on my little soapbox. And it could even be, do you ever sometimes feel that there is just something in everyone that's just essentially good?
Mm.
Every kind of, that kind of, or have you ever been feeling kind of lost, and yet you turn to your higher power or God or some essence, and you found that your answers were right there.
Mm.
People relate. I think people relate to their own lives, but something that's maybe of a scenario rather than, well, here's how it works. I don't know, something like that. And then
Yeah,
I
we
could
relate.
go
Yeah, we
ahead.
relate to our experience more.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have
And
an
so then I can
experience with
say, and
spirit.
that's
Yeah.
and that's what I would do. And that's when people would say, well, how does that work for you? And then I could explain it in terms that maybe are theirs, that they
Mm.
would understand. Look,
So you're asking the question of them to see how their mind works, so that you can, to use a phrase, coach them properly on what their definition and palatability of the information you're trying to.
yeah, and really, Rich, more than anything, when people say, well, what is this whole thing about, or whatever, I am not there to convince anybody to believe what I believe. But
Yeah,
I'm so curious. If you come from curiosity, that's a very
Mm.
important thing. And I think in practitioner work, I think it's an important thing, certainly in coaching, just to be curious and let people say what they believe. And then maybe in explaining what I think, it's like just comparing it or adjusting it. Oh, this is, you have an idea of that, then this is what's similar in our philosophy. So
Mm.
it's not confrontive. It's just a conversation. Yeah.
so so your prayers, they've evolved over time. We had this in the pre-conversation.
Yes.
How have they changed over time? I mean, we all start out with a wish and a prayer, and then eventually we understand the philosophy better, and then what are your thoughts?
This is not original, but that idea of praying without ceasing,
Mm.
just to be in prayer, just to be in that state of oneness. And I know Reverend Patty talks about that as well. It's just more to notice when I'm not in prayer, which is aligned with highest good for all concerned.
So do you like the 5 step, 7 step, or the 3 step, or the 1 step, or
Mm.
just do the 2 step and dance it all the way?
I like to do the two-step while I'm doing the five-step treatment.
I always ask that question because it's interesting. Uh, some like 7, some like 5, and then it's interesting to see how people work, and that's why we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Ernest Holmes book?
Well, second to the textbook, I like this thing called You. Just
Mm.
I like it. It seems direct. It really does seem like it's talking to me or talking to the individual. So I like that. Um, it just blows my mind that someone could take all that information from world religions, combine it together, explain it back to us in a way that kind of makes sense and is integrated. And it was so very long ago, relatively speaking. That was before my birth that he was writing writing this material. Um, yeah, and we talk about this as I say. We're going through the whole textbook again, and of course I have my highlighter out, and it's now I'm using purple this time
Mm.
Yeah,
because
Betty
there's
said.
such wisdom in that.
And that
What?
wisdom changes as we change, as like,
Yes,
yeah.
isn't that so true? I mean, even this thing called you, I could go back through that and do a whole new color to.
Is there another book besides those two that you like specifically? Also, no
Um,
is a good answer.
Well, there's so many to choose
I
from.
I know.
know, I know. Um, I'm not thinking of any titles right now, Rich. Just have to admit.
That's okay.
Oh,
It's fair enough. I mean, we usually say don't say those two books, but everybody says them, so it doesn't
oh,
matter.
sorry.
Yeah, and the books usually call to us depending on where we are consciously. Like I can
Correct.
pick up a book, open it up, and there's an Ernest quote that's perfect for what I'm doing now.
And speaking of quotes, what is your favorite Ernest Holmes quote?
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I have to. Okay, one that just comes to mind because in the coaching work that I do and when I meet with clients as a practitioner, there's often that reference to the past, but I've always done it this way. And so it's this whole, and I don't know if I'll quote it exactly, but the whole idea that a principle is not bound by precedent.
President.
There you go.
That
Yeah.
is so powerful. That's I would throw that one out there as one of my favorite quotes. It's just so helpful to unhook, from the way
Mm.
it's been done or the way I used to be or my life so far, and it just opens up, such great
So
possibilities.
we're at the 3 minute mark. I'm going to shotgun these questions to you, and you can
Yes,
give us one-liners if you want. How does spiritual mind treatment show up in your life?
in 5 steps.
There you go.
Well, she said earlier too, she prays without ceasing. So that prayer
Yeah,
is always
that's
there in the
true.
forefront.
Oh,
And
on my
then,
good days, Paul. Come on. I mean, I'm talking about the ideal thing here, but I
oh,
get
human.
lost in the weeds too.
I said before the show, I said we're talking, and I go, well, we transmit to all 107 planets of the Federation, and blah blah blah. And she went, huh? And I said, no, I'm just kidding. That I know of. Ooh, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What takeaway would you have our audience take away from the show today?
Be the unique, beautiful expression of spirit that you are.
Mm.
Kind of
Mm,
like, oh, be true to yourself, like that one. That would be the one. And then be of service. Come
Mm.
from service. There's so many ways to be of service. And when things are uncertain, and there always are times of uncertainty, even more important to just keep looking around and see where can I be of service today? How may I
Mm.
serve?
nice. Well, let's let you pray us out if you choose to.
I do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Should we do the plug before or after, Paul?
Well, let's do it the plug now, and then we can end with prayer.
All right. I'm Reverend Rich of Prayers Radio. This is Reverend,
Reverend Paul, I am spiritalive.com, and this
and then
is
we
Billie Frances.
Billie Frances. That's right. That's right. And then again, everything is inside of the show notes. Okay, now we pray out.
Now we pray out.
Yay, thank you,
Ah,
Billie.
thank you. So this is so important to do what we just did is to recognize ourselves and know who we are, but more importantly, to know that we are one with this infinite presence. And all we have to do is turn our attention to that, expand our awareness, and then it is. So we do that. We do that now. We just allow ourselves to recognize this beautiful essence that is spirit, and then claim our wholeness and oneness in it.
Hmm.
How very dear and sweet is that? Reminding us that we are empowered, reminding us that we are certainly supported, never alone, reminding us that everything we need is contained in this wisdom, in this joy, in this love that is spirit. And so I just accept and know right now that this opportunity to be together has been inspiring for the three people that have been conducting this prayer radio episode, and for anyone and everyone who listens to it. That something has been enlivened and inspired within, and that's what we're here to do: is to be of service to one another, to walk each other home, as it is said, so that we are even more fully the presence of spirit in community, in harmony, and in love. Giving thanks for this truth, I simply release it. I know it is done, and so it is.
And
So it
so it
is.
is. Yay.
So
Thank you,
it is.
Billy.
Thank you,
We
Paul. Thank you,
appreciate you,
Rich.
Billy. Well, again, if you like what you see, please click on subscribe or go to our individual sites and click on support. I
And
didn't say
check
the
Billy's
J word.
site out too. It's a
And
great
check
site.
Billy's site out because she does some great work. And buy her book if you choose to, which you are because you're here.
Thank
So
you.
we say bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Billy.
Bye. Thank you.